Hi, today we're here to talk to Adam about his business. Now, Adam is not only a PT, he's also a physiotherapist. So we're going to specifically focus on his physio business, which is slightly different from most PTs. So Adam, how long have you been a physio?
I'm a recent graduate. I graduated just last year in July.
Okay.
I'm a sports physio by profession, so
Yeah.
I tend to work in a lot of sports as well. That's kind of my principal role.
Right.
I've worked here literally since July, so about 8-9 months now.
Okay.
And I've just recently gone self-employed
Great.
as well, so they've given me the opportunity to do that, which is fantastic for me. So I have 2 days of clinic here,
Yeah.
and I'm also upstairs on the gym floor as well, engaging with members and interacting and so forth,
Fantastic.
and doing a bit of personal training with them as well. So I do have kind of set clinical hours here where I see
Great.
patients as well.
Right. So in terms of your physio business then, relatively new, where do you see yourself going, say by the end of the year?
Certainly, I just want to build it up in terms of days per week and hours
Yeah.
in terms of that I do that in those weeks. So initially, as I said, I'm doing 2 days a week now, and it's just kind of building up so I have more days. Eventually, in terms of what my goal is, and with the GM here as well, is that I am the full-time sports physio here. in this
Fantastic.
building. So that is how it is. But until you kind of fill out your clinic each week,
Yeah.
you wait until you do that and then build it up from there.
Okay.
So essentially, that's the goal.
So the first goal is 2 days,
Yeah,
then add a third day.
yeah, and then fourth and so forth. Until
So have you any idea where you want to be, say, 8 months from now?
8 months from now, I'd certainly like to have at least 4 days clinical.
Right, so
in
4
terms of that.
days.
Yeah, yes.
And in 4 days, how many people would you see?
Oh, essentially, in an 8-hour day, you can see up to 10 patients.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so 4 days,
Mm.
10 patients at a time,
Mm.
so 40 sessions a week.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. And in terms of moving towards that, what are you putting in place at the moment?
Well, it's just kind of making myself aware, known. That's why I work on the gym floor as well, so people get to see who I am. We're getting involved in more public events this year, so I'm also one of the sports physios at the Race for Life.
Right.
So it's just getting your name about and getting people to know who you are as well. And obviously, I work in sport as well, so people get to see me there. And it's just interacting with as many people as you can,
Right.
and also trying to provide a great service that people then refer
Fantastic.
friends and family that they know to you, which is how ideally I'd like to build my business.
Right. And that applies whether it's physiotherapy or PT to most people. It's about engaging, it's about getting your name out there, then gaining some clients, satisfying those clients, and then building from referrals from those clients. So sounds like a plan.
Absolutely.
Now, what things are challenging? What obstacles are you facing growing the business at the rate you want to?
I think, like with PT as anything, with physiotherapy as a service, it is that extra cost for people.
Yeah.
Obviously, the difference being is that with physiotherapy, if they're in pain, they
Yeah.
want to come and see you. So
Right.
you also got that. But it is just the fact it's extra cost, and obviously times are hard in terms of that. But luckily, it's a service that if people want it, they're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
In terms of sometimes it's looked as an extra.
Right.
But that's the kind of the main obstacle, that it is that. But if people really need it, they'll come to you. But again, it's based on reputation. So if they know you're good, and they know that you're honest with your work, they will come and see you, and
Okay.
they will pay that money. And that's what I'm really trying to build my business on, is that honesty.
Okay, so the honesty in terms of if people know you're good at it,
Yeah.
delivering the service,
Yeah.
they'll come. You've got the advantage over just simple PT in
Mm.
that people see that as an extra,
Mhm.
as you say,
Yeah.
only two sources of motivation, pain and pleasure.
Yeah.
Pain being the bigger one,
Yeah, absolutely.
so they're more
Mm.
likely to come to you. Okay, so from that perspective, you've got people coming, and you want to increase it.
Absolutely, it's only what I'm trained to do. So it's what I enjoy doing most, and it's
Right.
what I want to do,
Right.
and that is as a full-time occupation.
Right.
Obviously, you have to be realistic a lot of the time, and like any new business, it's got to grow, it's got to build.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
So what do you think you've got to improve on and to get better at so that you do it even faster? You get to that 4 days,
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I think, again, bearing in mind I am a recent graduate, so I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Actually, still learning my way. And with any new profession, you need experience to grow.
Yeah.
So that is kind of why I like it in terms of the way it is. It will grow in terms of starting with the 2 days a week and then building up with there. Because obviously, the more patients you work with, the more you learn. You learn all the time.
Yeah.
You never stop learning. So essentially, that's why I like it like that. To come in now and try and commit to 5-6 days a week, you can't do that
No.
because you're not experienced enough. I still, learn from my mentors,
Yeah.
even though I am a graduate, because it's ongoing, that learning process.
Right.
So with those 2 days a week at the minute, it gives me time to really focus on what I do, and then the rest of the time, obviously, I can work upstairs and continue with my studies.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly learning. It's an experience thing, and it's a confidence thing as well. And obviously, the more you're in the profession, the more you grow, the more you learn. You become confident what you do.
Okay, and we've identified this with PTs particularly. Those PTs that become really, really good as a PT recognise it's experience, it's education that'll enable them to get there. That's what differentiates them, or one of the things that differentiates them from many other PTs. So Adam, you've taken this on board already, And so for you, it's the experience and the ongoing education that's essential.
Yeah.
So do you have a plan in place that enables you to make sure that you keep growing from a knowledge-based point of view?
No, absolutely. As I say, I still volunteer in other clinics as part of my kind of ongoing development.
Yeah.
I also do CPDs, obviously continuing professional development courses, which is a mandatory kind of requirement for us anyway in terms of what we do. But I enjoy doing them anyway, so I've already invested a lot of money in them, and they're kind of ongoing. So I do them throughout the year.
Great.
I'm also looking at the prospect of doing my masters in
Great.
physiotherapy in maybe 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I just want to continually evolve. That's
Right.
what I like to do. But certainly, yeah, I'm always kind of doing new courses because obviously, with kind of sports physio, treatments always change and research is always evolving. So you need to stay up to date with that.
Right.
So kind of that's what I make sure I do.
So it sounds like you've got a plan.
Yeah,
You know what you want to get up to.
absolutely.
You know where you are in relation to that. You know the key things you need to do in terms of getting out, making yourself known. You know about getting referrals, and you know about increasing experience and knowledge. So the plan's in place.
Yeah.
Is anything getting in the way at this moment in time of you actually making sure the plan is carried out completely as you want it to be?
Essentially, no. You know, there's always obstacles in life that
Yeah.
can get in the way in terms of you know, working a lot and various lifestyle kind
Sure.
of changes. But I think if you're committed and you plan yourself effectively in terms of time management, and you have a plan, I always write my plans.
Right.
And I'm very big on goal setting.
Great.
So I set my goals. And I think it's commonly undervalued goal setting. I think it's absolutely principally essential. So I set it to that. And if you set realistic goals, there's no reason why you can't achieve them.
Correct.
So I'm not, you know, I don't try and look for excuses why I can't do it. Obviously, there's always things that might influence it,
Yeah.
but ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're determined, you'll get there eventually.
Sure. If you set the goals, you put the plan in place, you carry it out, things will come at you.
It's achievable.
And you just
Yeah.
mentioned it, lifestyle things will
Yeah.
come at you. But at least you're in a position to be able to control that, go again, make the changes.
Yeah,
keep moving
absolutely. And
forward.
that's the idea of realistic goal setting. If you have goals, you have something to work towards. Obviously, what I do, that's paramount for me to get where I want to get.
Fantastic.
And eventually I will, because I'm determined what I do. But I know it's a time game. You learn through experience, and that requires time.
Yeah.
So you've got to be patient, but you'll get there.
Fantastic. Adam, really appreciate you sharing
Thank you.
that with us.
Yeah.
So from all of you, Adam's come up with some great things there. He's talked about the big vision of where he wants to get to in terms of the next year, 8 months or so. He's talked about setting the goals. He understands the system that he's got to work towards getting there, getting himself out, and getting himself known, his reputation known, through the experience. He understands that he needs to get referrals from people. That will enable him to build his business. He recognises that by putting a plan in place, things will come at him, but he'll be able to adapt, review and progress. So he's doing all the things that are necessary to make sure that he achieves his goals. So I advise you all to take on board what Adam is currently doing, and you too will be successful.